Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today I thought we'd make a video outside. Excuse the background noise. It's such a beautiful morning. Show you a pic of the neighborhood here. This is where I live in Illinois, actually, Southern Illinois. See my kids have their toys out there. But, you know, Illinois, honestly, is underrated for the real estate value. If you're looking for potential to own a home out here, a lot of people will tell you that Illinois and the Midwest in general are a lot cheaper. And our home is one of those things, and we bought it in a decent school district, so we're hoping the value will go up over time as people discover the Midwest and want to move there away from coastal communities. I think that's kind of a trend you're going to be seeing. But just FYI for anybody who's looking for a cheaper cost of living, there are jobs out here. You know, St. Louis, Missouri, I'm about 25, 30 minutes away from there. Just wanted to bring that up on this beautiful Monday morning. Also my birthday, so we're going to go out for a dinner tonight. Looking forward to that, and hope everybody's doing well. As we talk about how to make income, once again, that's what we talk about on this channel, is how do we earn income apart from a 9-to-5 job? Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to spend 30 years working for a company that I hate or that I start to despise because of policies, politics, bureaucracy. I think everybody as humans, they tend to get tired of the same old. And so if I'm thinking about how can I benefit my family and our cost of living long term, then I'm thinking about ways to make income. And one of those ways you can do so is by selling QQQ options. Now, I made another video about SPY options, and SPY options are great. So first of all, anybody who's doing SPY options, if you go on over to finviz.com, check out the chart on SPY. This is the Spider S&P 500 ETF. I made a video the other day, actually, how you can make over $100 from SPY options. I'm going to start walking around here. And, you know, the thing with SPY options is that you can absolutely make a killing. Okay, so I was making the video about how, even just with $50,000 invested, you can potentially make over $100 every single trading day if you really wanted to from these options. And I got a nice tree here in the background for you guys, a nice garden going too. Go check out the peppers, see how they're doing this morning. But we were really just talking about how you can make this money on a consistent basis. And the reality is, a lot of people don't consider this. There's the peppers we're growing. We have the jalapeno, serrano, and there's another one as well. I forget the name of it. But with that being said, making over $100 is as simple as called the wheel strategy. Now, if you're new to the wheel strategy, I recommend you come on over to dailyinvestmentadvice.com. I'm going to get you guys hooked up with the best content on the wheel strategy. Maybe not the best, but I try, right? It's a one-man operation over here. Options trading, the wheel strategy. Come on over, check out the articles, check out the videos, check out the content. There's a lot of things to consider with the wheel strategy. But I just posted this article, and I'll leave this in the description. This is from my previous video. SPY options, $100. Now let's go on over to Fidelity. And what we're going to do, and before we do that, check out my wife's rose bush here. I figured people are starting to like vlogging formats on YouTube. It seems to be a popular trend, so I thought I might try like a early morning vlog here in my yard. Why not? And then, the point is, guys, $1.78. Okay, so we have one. Quantity of one, sell to open. We're selling a put. The expiration is September 23rd, 2024. That's today. So this option expires today. What that means is we're selling this option with a strike of $481. Okay, $481. And we're hoping to collect $177 after commissions. Now, there will be those who tell you that this cannot be done or that it's too risky and all these kinds of things. The thing with these types of strategies is that you don't have to necessarily do this against the same ETF or even the same index. It could be a totally uncorrelated index like GLD, gold, silver, SLV. There's other ETFs you can do this against, and I should probably make a video on how you can do this on those ETFs. But what we're doing is switching between selling puts and calls. Puts and calls, covered calls and cash secured puts. A cash secured put, if you want to write this down, is as simple as getting paid to buy stocks at a discount. In the simplest form, you are being paid, instead of paying your broker commission like you would in the 1980s and the 1990s when the broker had all the leverage and they had access to the markets. Now you have access to the markets, and now you can get paid for buying stocks instead of paying your broker a commission, or ETFs, exchange traded funds. So what we're looking at is selling a cash secured put, one quantity. That means we're selling one contract, and the strike price is 481. Multiply 100 then, because each options contract, whether it's a call or a put option, is going to equal 100 shares. So 100 times 481 is how much capital you'll need for this trade. $48,000. Well, you might be saying, Drew, I don't have $48,000. What can I do? Find a way to save the money, right? Sometimes my portfolio fluctuates in value. It might go above 50, under 50, my Roth IRA that I have. It's roughly, let's just call it, 30, 50, whatever. Depending on volatility, what you're investing in, it just depends on a lot of factors. And so if you think about a portfolio that's 50,000 and above, in general, you can do this against the QQQ and the SPY. Now, you can always do it against other ETFs as well if you don't have as much money. But it's a good framework to go by, especially with the deep liquidity and the amount of premium you can get with these options. So with that being said, we're selling a put option for today's expiration, which means we're agreeing to buy this stock only for today. Imagine somebody handing you a contract and said, hey, I'll pay you $177 if you're willing to buy this ETF at $481 today. And if it doesn't go below 481, you keep the money and the option expires. That's what we're doing here. And then once we actually get long the stock, let's say the ETF goes below 481 by expiration. That means we are going to own 100 shares, thus forking up over $48,000 for this trade. Okay, $48,100. That's our capital on the sidelines to do this trade. You look at your max loss, minus the premium, that's how much you can lose if the ETF went bankrupt, which won't happen. Because this is like the NASDAQ, right? The NASDAQ 100 index, it's not going anywhere. So what we're looking at then is how can we make regular income from this ETF, from this income stream that will result in us being able to do this on a consistent basis. And then switching from the put side, we go off to the call side. And let's say we already bought this ETF at 481. Now we're going to sell a 482 call option. It's less than 25 cents away, and we're going to collect the bid price of 145 in this case for a 482 strike option that expires today, assuming this is the next day, like September 24th instead of 23rd, because we already bought sold the put option, collected the premium, and then it goes under 481. By the end of the trading day, we get long our shares, right? So then we go on over 482, September 23rd, and what happens is we end up selling a call option, and the amount we collect is 144 after commissions. And you'll see the max loss is unlimited. That's because we could get into that, but basically you're not going to lose everything. This is a covered call trade. You already own the 100 shares, okay? So the only way really is for this ETF to go bankrupt, for the NASDAQ to go to zero, which is not going to happen. But that's basically how you do it. You rotate between cash secured puts and covered calls. You enter these trades on a broker like Fidelity. Fidelity is a great broker. I love this broker. I use them for a lot of things, and I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I'm not making any money from them or anything like that. I just love the brokerage firm. It's a great brokerage firm. It's very easy. Zero commissions except for options. They have a very small commission, but that's how you can do these trades. And once again, we're putting up roughly $48,000. So if you have a brokerage account where you can own 100 shares of this ETF, then you can make this happen. And another tip for anybody who's looking to fix their flooding, you'll see here that I have a French drain that I'm working on. And you'll see that this goes along the side of the house. We're working on getting the rock and all the materials. I'm going to dig some deeper as well, I think. But, we've had some flooding issues with our basement right here against the wall where our landscaping is. And so the idea is build up the rock and then kind of put a tarp over the top of the rock after you put the piping down, of course. You have to have the piping with the holes and stuff. But once you do that, you basically just put it down maybe 12 inches down Get your stuff from Lowe's, get a pile of rock on the side here, shovel in the rock on top of the piping, put the cover on top, then backfill with dirt, right? You can extend out the landscaping if you need to. I might end up doing that, but it's really not overly complicated, and anybody can do this. So, and you can save a lot of money instead of hiring like an independent contractor to do this kind of stuff, to help your flooding situation and all that. So thank you so much for tuning in to this early morning Monday video. Hope you guys all have a great, fantastic week. Try this strategy out if you have the money, if you think you might benefit from it, because you very well could. It could be a fantastic strategy, and you might be able to make a lot of money from it on a consistent basis. A lot of people love this strategy, and myself included. And when we talk about financial freedom and how to earn cash flow from the wheel strategy and other forms of income, you can definitely consider it for your own portfolio. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you in the next one.